If you're watching this video, it's safe to say you're someone who sees the writing on the wall. You can't ignore the flaws in our system anymore. You've seen the signs, and you're asking yourself questions like, how come traditional investments are still being outpaced by inflation? How come the government still has such tight control over finances of Americans? How come the cost of living is just going up and up and up? Well, just know that you're not alone. Millions of Americans are facing the harsh reality of inflation eroding their savings. The dollar is losing its value day by day, and there's a looming threat of Social Security drying up by 2035. And if that wasn't enough, there's an ever-tightening grip of government control over your assets. Now what's even more interesting is that there are a select few retail investors like you and I that are not experiencing any of this. Yep, almost none of it. In fact, they're sidestepping traditional banking, safeguarding their assets, and experiencing profitable, stable returns that far outpace inflation. In fact, these retail investors don't have to worry about increased government control and the potential of CBDCs. They don't have to worry about bank failures or accounts freezing. They don't have to worry about how much money the Fed is constantly printing. Why? Because these individuals are tapped into a little-known industry which the government has zero control over. In fact, some of the world's most elite and deep pockets have been quietly using this industry for quite some time now. And it's an industry that is set to be worth over $800 billion according to Business Insider. And in this video, I'm going to show you why the current financial system is rigged against the retail investor, how inflation is chipping away at our investments, and why, if you don't adapt, the value of your hard-earned dollars could take a big plunge. However, you'll also discover why all the financial elites, the big institutions like BlackRock, Fidelity, and JP Morgan are secretly preparing for a potential mega bull run in this little-known industry, and how you can piggyback on their success. What industry is that, you may ask? Decentralized finance, aka DeFi. Stay with me, and I'll show you why this newly emerging industry of decentralized finance might be your best bet if you want to break away from increasing government control, CBDCs, and investments crippled by inflation. And finally, I'll show you the exact three-step DeFi system ex-investment banker Tan used to personally grow a portfolio of 57,000 into over 1.87 million inside the DeFi markets. Now, roughly less than 0.2% of the world is invested in this exact industry. But this number is rising day by day. It's rising rapidly. And because of this, I recognize that first movers would gain an insane advantage. But that window of opportunity is closing more and more with each day that passes. So if you're ready to give your investments a better shot at truly outpacing inflation, if you're ready to take a step to financial autonomy, pay close attention. Now, let me reveal how I got my hands on all of this information. Allow me to formally introduce you to Tan Gera. He was a prodigy in finance from his early days. Coming from a poor immigrant family, he was never handed anything for free. His household was dependent on him, and it allowed him to see exactly what those deep, deep pockets were actually doing to multiply their wealth and safeguard their assets. And he started to notice a trend between all of them. They weren't investing in real estate. They weren't investing in the stock market. They weren't investing in crypto meme coins or NFTs. Almost every single one of them was running towards a newly emerging industry, one that less than 0.2% of the world's population is currently invested in: decentralized finance. It was the answer to our traditional financial system's flaws. And because of this, some financial elites were loading their money into this industry, quietly multiplying their wealth, hedging their assets from inflation, and a few even outpacing some of the biggest hedge funds in the world. Given how big of an opportunity this was, Tan felt the necessity to start investing in DeFi himself. And to cut a long story short, he turned a $57,000 portfolio into a $1.87 million nest egg within the space of 1 year. And the crazy thing, he wasn't reading charts all day. He wasn't glued to the computer monitoring market trends. He wasn't making trades every few minutes. In fact, it took him less than a couple of hours per week to manage the portfolio. And sure, the money and the lifestyle that comes with investing in DeFi is great, but Tan didn't really get into it because of that. He got into it because there was no other choice. And it doesn't seem like we have a choice either. Look, as I'm sure you know, it seems like the US financial system is on a serious decline, and the government simply can't hide it anymore. To me, it seems like we're about to enter even darker times in the US, especially with the new CBDC being rapidly adopted. And they're further along than you think. Banking giants in the US have already enrolled in a 12-week pilot program designed to introduce the digital dollar. It's the Trojan horse for the CBDC that's about to be implemented, which means in the not-so-distant future, we could have a society where your entire retirement fund could be instantly erased due to an error in the algorithm. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to keep my hard-earned dollars anywhere near that. Not to mention what the Fed has been doing. Despite their efforts, inflation remains a big concern in the US. The inflation rate has been relentlessly rising, showing no signs of slowing down. Over the past year alone, it surged by another 3.3%. This relentless increase in inflation is completely eroding the purchasing power of the dollar. The dollar you have today buys significantly less than you did just a year ago. And this will keep happening year after year. And guess what they're doing to tackle this? Printing more money. Yep, you heard that right. They're making the dollar even more worthless. And this is without mentioning the amount of major banks that have been failing in the past 12 months. Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, and the First Republic Bank completely collapsed. These failures sent shockwaves through the financial system. It truly demonstrated that your savings and access to funds in this current banking system are not safe. I mean, take a look at Silicon Valley Bank, a major player in the banking world, collapsed after a massive run on deposits, leading to the second largest bank failure in US history. And it wasn't just the collapse itself, the ripple effects were felt across the industry. Startups and venture capital firms were left scrambling to secure their funds after Silicon Valley failed. Then, Signature Bank suddenly collapsed just 48 hours after the Silicon Valley Bank failure, leaving many account holders in complete limbo. Even First Republic Bank couldn't escape the banking crisis as it came tumbling down in the biggest bank failure since 2008. And unfortunately, according to CNBC, this run of bank failures doesn't seem to be stopping. Hundreds of banks are at risk of the same thing happening to them. Now, these failures aren't just numbers on the screen. They have real consequences for real Americans. Savings wiped out. Access to funds frozen. Confidence in the bank system shattered. I mean, imagine reaching your retirement, expecting to finally relax after 40 years of working hard, expecting those peaceful golden years you were promised, only to find out that your benefits have been slashed. Look, as I said before, to me, it seems like the financial system is already breaking. All signs point towards it. And once the digital dollar is implemented, that could just be the nail in the coffin. Our financial autonomy has never been more at risk, with our money stepping closer to the government's control as every day passes. But if you're looking for a way out of this, an escape of some sort, decentralized finance can offer you that. It's a whole new financial system that operates on a blockchain network, meaning it's not controlled by any single entity. Even the government cannot touch it. And this is why DeFi is about to take the world by storm. And if people still question the legitimacy of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, well, let's not forget the monumental approval of the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs by the SEC earlier this year in 2024. To put it simply, these ETFs are revolutionizing the crypto investment landscape. Institutions like Fidelity, BlackRock, and JP Morgan are now making their intentions clear. Their moves represent a seismic shift in the integration of crypto and decentralized finance into everyday society. It clearly signals that digital assets are here to stay and are being recognized at the highest regulatory level. Not only that, but this innovation is driving massive capital investments into the crypto market and supercharging its growth even further. Look, there's no question about it. DeFi is inevitable. It's here to stay, and it's here to explode. CNBC knows it, Business Insider knows it, billionaire investor Mark Cuban knows it. Even Tesla is holding $711 million worth of Bitcoin right now. Day by day, crypto and decentralized finance are becoming more and more ingrained in our society. So the question really is, what side do you want to be on? The side where you allow the government and the digital dollar to take over your finances, leaving you with zero control over your wealth, or the side where you gain more control, the side where you can safeguard your nest egg, the side where you can secure your retirement. I personally made my decision years ago, as did Tan, and many others as well. However, the harsh reality is that most retail investors have it ass backwards when it comes to investing in the DeFi markets. You see, it's not the traders or the coin flippers seeing real sustainable wealth in crypto. It's those tapping into the groundbreaking technology that underpins this entire industry, and those smart enough to become their own bank. You see, while many crypto or financial gurus claim that trading is the fast track to wealth, just to sell you some recycled course and rudimentary signaling tool, the reality is stark. In fact, it seems that almost 95% of traders end up losing it all. Those overnight success stories, yeah, they're the exception. Most investors gamble their money in crypto, throwing Hail Marys on meme coins and obsessing over monkey JPEGs. All of these shiny objects are just distractions. Distractions from what is really happening behind the scenes, from what is a much bigger story. Because this is where DeFi flips the script. Instead of blindly betting on crypto like all the sheep and praying for it to go up, you can leverage the same business model the most profitable industry in the US uses to make billions upon billions every month while virtually carrying none of the risks. Which industry is that? Banking. It's a model that dates back to the roots of our civilization and has solidified itself as the world's most powerful industry. And do you know how banks actually make their money? The way it works is simple. When you deposit $10,000 in a bank account, the bank can lend $9,000 of that $10,000. That means that in total, there'd be now $19,000 in circulation. And while they offer you a measly 0.5 to 1% on your money, they enjoy a nice 20% return, leveraging your capital that you brought to them. Essentially, banks can create money out of thin air, lending out your deposits to fuel other investments and ventures, while they reap all the profits and you carry all the risk. But what if you could hedge against inflation and create new opportunities within a matter of a few clicks? Until now, only banks and the ultra wealthy had the tools to do that. But with DeFi, you can become your own bank, leveraging emerging technology to earn and lend on your terms. Yep, you heard that right. Just imagine, as a bank, you now have the right to create new money. And this is how our friend Tan managed to take that small part of his income and turn it into millions. So, if you've ever wanted to master the art of wealth creation, even better, master the art of investing in DeFi. So let me show you how you can become a DeFi master by becoming your own bank. And also show you a simple 3-step DeFi system for potentially generating profitable, passive, stable returns in the DeFi markets. And as we just mentioned, banks provide cash to the world for transactions. And now you can do the same in the world of DeFi. You can become your own bank by being what we like to call a liquidity provider. Let me break that down exactly what this means. In the last 24 hours, across all cryptocurrencies, I wouldn't be shocked if 2 million transactions took place. And to make these transactions possible, there needs to be liquidity, which means enough funds available for trading. So, by becoming a liquidity provider, you're essentially stepping into the role of a bank. Let's also think about ATMs. Banks and ATMs make money every time someone uses one. How? Well, it's all about the transaction fees. It's the same in the crypto world. Big names like Binance and Coinbase are raking in cash through these fees. They are what we call liquidity providers. You're not restricted to just trading assets in the world of DeFi. You can be the liquidity provider too. In other words, you become the bank for other people. And you'll be the one earning the transaction fees instead of paying them. Thanks to DeFi platforms, this is now a reality. Every time someone uses the liquidity you provided to make a crypto trade, whether that's buying or selling it, you earn a slice of the transaction fees. It's a complete flip of the script, from constantly paying fees in traditional finance to earning them in the world of DeFi. And if you're wondering about the safety of your money in DeFi investments, well, don't. In the world of DeFi, smart contracts are just contracts that are pre-programmed with specific rules and conditions. Second of all, your funds are secured by collateral. The person who wants to use the liquidity you provided to trade crypto has to put up collateral that's equal to or greater than the value of liquidity they are trying to access. If the trader fails to repay their debt or fulfill their obligations, the collateral is used to cover your liquidity that you provided, ensuring your investment is always safe. Now, as you've seen, investing in DeFi is simple. From doctors to millionaires to people working a regular 9-to-5 job, there's a mix of everyone inside our private mastermind tapping into this secretly booming industry. Based on my leading publications and research reports, we're about to see a big bull run in the coming months and years. Everything seems to indicate that the DeFi market is about to pump, but this time, it's not fueled by retail investors or rumors. It's fueled by massive institutional adoption and global liquidity entering into the market. So, why not start securely investing in the technology that powers the entire crypto industry and become your own bank? And now that you understand how this thing really works, let me introduce to you our 3-step DeFi system that can allow you to potentially maximize your potential while investing in DeFi. A 3-step strategy that we personally help all of our mastermind members implement. Step 1. We always start with low-risk investments by providing liquidity for stablecoins. Stablecoins are tied to the value of the US dollar, maintaining a 1-to-1 ratio with USD. So their price doesn't fluctuate like other cryptocurrencies. This stability makes them an ideal entry point for anyone making their first investments in decentralized finance. People still use these coins to trade crypto, creating a high demand for liquidity. And if we start providing liquidity for these stablecoins, well, you can earn transaction fees when people use your liquidity to trade the stablecoin. Even during market downturns, your stablecoins retain their value, ensuring that your investment is protected. This stability allows you to continue earning transaction fees, providing a reliable, passive income stream even when other investments are losing value. So to put it simply, regardless of what the market is doing, this strategy will work for us. Stablecoins offer you a safe haven from the volatility of traditional financial systems, while potentially generating you a passive daily income. Step 2, then we'll start investing into blue chip tokens. Now, blue chip tokens are like the blue chip companies in the stock market. Think Apple, Microsoft, Google. In the crypto space, blue chip tokens refer to well-established cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. These are the heavyweights of the crypto world, known for their reputation and their teams. Now, I think it's worth mentioning that while blue chip tokens can provide higher returns due to price fluctuations, they come with a bit more risk compared to stablecoins, simply because, well, their price fluctuates. But not to worry. Should you be accepted into Decentralized Masters, you'll have exclusive access to our private research teams, whose only job is to hunt for the best projects for long-term growth and sustainability. That's it. Step 3. Finally, while keeping our money in stablecoins and blue chip tokens for security and long-term growth, we start to explore higher risk, higher reward opportunities. These investments have the potential for massive returns, but come with greater risk. That's why we only play with profits, ensuring that our original investments remain secure in blue chip tokens and even better in stable coins. Our private research team identifies 1 to 2 of these high potential opportunities every single month. And by using their expertise, our members can tap into some of the most promising projects in the crypto space. Lastly, please note that this is not financial advice. Remember that you are managing your money at your own risk. And with that being said, that's the 3-step DeFi system I and hundreds of others have personally used to grow our nest egg securely and safely. And if you made it this far into the video, you're probably wondering, what is Decentralized Masters? Well, to simply put it, Decentralized Masters is the leading educational brand in the DeFi space. We're a circle of elite investors who are all on a mission to master the art of investing in DeFi. For anyone serious about leveraging the soon-to-be $800 billion industry of DeFi to its full potential, this is the place to be. Inside of Decentralized Masters, you have access to the most powerful DeFi strategies that have turned standard investments into powerful nest eggs. On top of that, our elite circle of investors, analysts, and blockchain experts personally mentor and guide every single member through the labyrinth which is DeFi, ensuring your journey is both profitable and secure. Now, you've already heard about a few of our many success stories in this video, but it doesn't stop there, because our track record and experience has allowed us to be featured in top publications, generating interest from the most reputable brands, and solidifying an industry-leading Trustpilot rating of 4.9. Some of you watching this may have already applied. If that's the case, we look forward to hearing from you and learning more about your story. But if you haven't applied to join yet, well, there are a few key things we should cover first. First of all, if you're looking to get rich quickly by becoming your own bank in DeFi without putting in any work, this is not for you. DeFi shouldn't be a get-rich-quick opportunity. We don't want you distracted by the shiny objects. Rather, we want to give you the tools and the systems you need to make your own financial decisions with confidently, so you can have a better shot at multiplying your nest egg, having investments that outpace inflation, and securing your retirement in the DeFi markets. Also, I don't recommend jumping into DeFi if you're super low on liquidity, because if you're on your last 5 to 10,000 hoping for a coin to 100x or 1000x in value, most likely you will be left very disappointed with a bitter taste in your mouth. Now, with that being said, if you see the genuine opportunity here, we'd love to extend an invitation to join us here at Decentralized Masters. You can hit the link below and fill out an application for the mastermind. So after you apply, one of our DeFi advisors will get on a call with you, take a deep dive into your story, see what you're struggling with, and we'll personally show you the right way of how you can start potentially generating profitable, stable, passive returns in the DeFi industry. We'll show you how DeFi can allow you to sidestep traditional banking. And most importantly, we'll let you know if you've been accepted into our private mastermind, Decentralized Masters. The bull run is coming. To put it simply, there has never been a better time to tap into DeFi. So hit the link below and apply to join Decentralized Masters. Until next time, I wish you health and happiness. All the best.